When Season 6.5 dropped, I wasn't mad, because after playing it I thought it was really fun, but I was also not impressed. They could have done way better because we still haven't addressed the three biggest issues in the game: the poke meta, the triple strategist meta, and tanks getting power crept into irrelevance. Like, there is not a single strong tank in the game outside of Groot and maybe Magneto. So today I'm fixing the game. These are the patch notes I would make for Season 7 of Marvel Rivals. We are going class by class, so vanguards, duelists, and then strategists, in alphabetical order, because if we are going to rebalance the game, we are doing it properly. But before we enter the patch notes, we are going to discuss our first topic of the video: quality of life fixes. The first is PC optimization. The game is still too heavy. I mean, even if I am not personally struggling because I play on console, a lot of players are, especially streamers, and optimization matters. The second thing I'm going to talk about is competitive bans, because 2 bans in ranked only, that's actually crazy. Either make it 3 bans like Flats suggested, or rework it like tournaments. For example, if both teams ban the same hero, then that hero stays banned and both teams gets another free spin. This rewards strategy in a better way. Now, before we get into the second part of the video, I want to make a quick disclaimer. I am not a top 500 player, I play ranked, but I'm in Diamond. However, with how matchmaking and EOMM work, I've seen enough games to confidently say this game is heavily power crept. Strategists are either busted or mid, DPSs are either useless or server admins, and tanks just can't keep up. So I created something. The first thing I'm going to introduce in the second part of the video, which is new hero mechanics, is role passives. I've noticed then that most comps I see online either contain a triple support, a triple DPS, or a solo tank. So with that, every role gets a passive based on how many of that role are in the match for your team. Now, the second addition I'm going to make to this game is subclass role system. I know, it's in Overwatch. Yeah, but this game has copied lots of things from Overwatch, and honestly, this is something I really want to see in this game. Now, I get it, Marvel Rivals is a simple game, but this just makes it easier for players to build teams, basically, with heavier subclasses, because vanguards, duelists, and strategists work in a different way, even hero by hero, even inside the same class. So, let's get into these subclasses. I've made 4 subclasses for vanguards, 4 subclasses for duelists, and 3 subclasses for strategists. Every subclass has its own small passive. Nothing game breaking, just something that reinforces the character's identity. We have 4 vanguard subclasses: the Bulwark, the Zoner, the Disruptor, and the Frontliner. The Bulwark is the shield tank, the defensive tank. They protect space and soak damage for the team. So, basically, Doctor Strange and Magneto. The Zoner are the tanks that control territory and deny space. They are not necessarily the toughest, but they control the battlefield. And those heroes are Penny Parker, Groot, Angela, and Thor. There are also 2 duelists I'm reworking as vanguards. Now, the disruptors are your dive and chaos tanks. They jump into the enemy team, creating problems and breaking formation. Those heroes are Hulk, Venom, and Captain America. And the last category is the frontliner. These tanks lead the charge and absorb the damage, basically. So, Rogue, Emma Frost, The Thing, Tank Pool, and another duelist I'm transforming to a tank. Now, the duelist subclasses are the Hunters, the Travelers, the Assassins, and the Sustainers. The Hunters are basically the pokers, the long-range damage dealers and precision attackers. So, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Phoenix, Hela, Squirrel Girl, and Namor. The Travelers are your close-range fighters and duelists, so divers and basically people who pressure enemies. And we have Daredevil, Iron Fist, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and Magic. The Assassins are your high burst damage flankers, so they have high mobility and high risk. Those heroes are Star-Lord, Psylocke, Elsa Bloodstone, who I counted as a flanker because I think that was the proper way to play her, and also Scarlet Witch. The last class, the Sustainers, are the high DPS heroes focused on consistent damage output over time. So Moon Knight, the Punisher, Iron Man, Bucky, Torch, and DPS pool. There are also 3 strategist subclasses. The first is the Restorers. These are your pure healers. Their main job is keeping the team alive. And those heroes are Rocket Raccoon, Cloak and Dagger, and Jeff the Landshark. I know that Jeff has a nice damage output and can create plays. Cloak and Dagger can switch and also cause damage and create chances, and that Rocket has a great primary fire and a good mobility. At the same time, I think that those are the healers that are most used as heal bots to pocket heal. Now, the Playmakers are the second subclass, and these strategists create big moments and opportunities. Those heroes are Mantis, Ultron, Adam Warlock, and the last strategist subclass I'm going to talk about is the Wardens. The Wardens are those strategists who combine healing with offensive value. So Loki, Luna Snow, Gambit, Healpool, and Invis. For example, every Zoner, every Bulwark, every Playmaker, every Sustainer, etc., they have the same ult cost. So they are sort of grouped by ult cost. And now, with role passive and subclass roles, we can finally start fixing the heroes themselves. Starting with the Vanguards, the first hero we are going to talk about is Angela. I actually think that she is the worst tank in the game, because why would you pick her when other tanks do the same exact job but better? She isn't terrible, her kit is decent, but is just undertuned. So the first hero I'm going to rework into a Vanguard is Blade. I think that he isn't necessarily bad. He does need buffs, but at the same time I don't get why he has the only 100 HP less than Angela. This doesn't really make sense for me. Captain America is already one of the best tanks in the game. He can counter poke, he can dive, he can protect teammates. He's extremely versatile, so instead of reworking him, we are just refining him. I'm going to give him 2 buffs and 2 nerfs. Now, Tankpool is a tank I actually find pretty fun, but his numbers just need some adjustments. Overall, he becomes tankier but deals less damage, which makes sense for a Vanguard. Now, Doctor Strange and Emma Frost, I think they are perfect. I think they don't need any changes. While Groot is insanely strong right now, especially if Gambit is banned. So he needs just a few nerfs. So the goal isn't just to kill him, but just to rebalance him. Now, Hulk is definitely better than he used to be, but he still needs more. And the more is gaining complete CC immunity in Monster Hulk, because if Hulk is in monster form, he gets deleted instantly. Magneto is fine as it is. I think that he's the strongest tank in the game, but maybe if I have to adjust him, I'd make it so that the bubble maximum distance is reduced by 5 meters and the maximum shield duration is adjusted by 0.5 seconds. The second hero I'm going to rework as a Vanguard is Mr. Fantastic as a zoner, so one who uses control, and the only thing I'm going to do is increase his base health from 375 to 500. Penny Parker, Rogue, The Thing, Thor, and Venom stay the same. I wanted to buff Penny, but at the same time, if you buff her too much, she becomes a problem, and we saw it with the Rocket team-up. And no, I'm not falling for the Thor D-tier propaganda. The last Vanguard we're going to talk about, and the last duelist we're going to transform into a Vanguard is Wolverine, into a zoner who focuses on displacing. Now we move to the role that is probably the most chaotic in Marvel Rivals because it's a mixed bag. Some heroes desperately need nerfs and some heroes buffs. And a few needs also a complete rework or just a rework in something. So, Black Panther needs a buff. He has one huge problem. CC is destroying him. Back in the early season, dive comps were insanely strong and Black Panther was part of that problem, but now that dive is weaker, he gets shut down instantly. And that's a shame because he's actually one of the few heroes that requires actual skill. Black Widow needs a full rework. I'm a Lord Widow. I think that she's fun. She is also bad though. I'm going to rework her kit. And and not giving her a one-shot, etc, etc, just giving her quality of life improvement. I think that Daredevil needs a nerf, DPS pool is okay, Elsa needs a nerf. Not maybe in her damage, but in her instinct gaining, because she can spam abilities. I am going to rework Hawkeye because I hate him. He's a terrorist. Genuinely, if BP used to be my most hated hero to fight in early seasons up to season 4, now Hawkeye has completely stolen that crown. If Black Widow and someone who has an actual sniper can't one-shot, I don't see why Clint should. Hela also needs a nerf because she never got nerfed, and she has to be hit hard for once. That's the thing with poke heroes. If you nerf them too hard, they become unplayable. Human Torch needs a rework. I honestly think that he genuinely needs a team up, yeah, but also the patching the melee tech and restoring his damage and also the stats from his early days. So now Iron Fist, Iron Man and Magic are okay. I forgot to say that while I was recording. I'm going to also nerf Iron Fist and Magic. These are the nerfs. Iron Man, I think that he just isn't that good because of the poke meta. Without the poke meta he'll be decent. Moon Knight needs a nerf. He needs a little nerf, not too much. Namor also needs a nerf, and Phoenix also needs a nerf. If not, this is the most I can nerf her without making her unplayable. Psylocke needs a buff and a nerf. I'm going to nerf her ult and buff her kit. I'm going to also give little buffs to Scarlet Witch and Spider-Man, because hot take, Spider-Man needs one. I know he's annoying, I hate dive, but at the same time he's a tickle monster. Squirrel Girl needs a buff and a nerf. If you buff Squirrel too much, she becomes a problem. She is already a low elo demon. Now, Star-Lord is incredibly fun, underrated, but at times he's a ult merchant. His gameplay seems like he's wait, ult, and then pray. You get at least a double or a triple kill. So I'm going to shift his power away from the ultimate into his base kit. Now, I'm going to nerf Bucky and Punisher too. Punisher, I'm going to take out his one-shot from the shotgun, and Bucky, I'm just going to nerf his base damage to 55, his spell field damage to 45, and his voltage damage to 40. Now, that's it for the DPS roster. Next up, the role that is actually breaking the meta in half, because there are people who think this role is broken and people who think this role is not broken. I think it's in between. The strategist. Adam Warlock doesn't need really a buff, he's already strong. I'm just going to give a small adjustment. I'm making him 275 HP. Cloak and Dagger needs a nerf. Why? Because honestly, I'm tired as a strategist main of people abusing ultimates of strategists without thinking about it. It's like they are, without using their brain, they are just ulting to keep the team alive. You have to use them with a sort of direction. So, Gambit needs a nerf. I think that he's fun. He's really fun, but he's also the best hero in the game, so I'm going to cut his ultimate. Honestly, I'm scared that they won't do anything to his ult and just nerf him into the ground. Now, Invisible Woman, she needs 2 nerfs. This makes her a little bit more killable. Jeff is okay. Loki is okay, to be fair. I'm going to cut in half Luna's nose ult. I'm going to do the same with Mantis, but not cutting it entirely. And at the same time, I'm going to buff her to make her more viable in double support comps. Rocket and Strategist pool are okay. And now, the final DPS I'm going to rework. Storm into a Strategist, especially a Playmaker. She gets a full role change, moving from Duelist to Strategist. The last hero we're going to talk about is Ultron, and he's going to get some adjustments. So, that's every change I will do. But before we go, I'd like to make a prediction, because I'm recording this video the 12th of March, and tomorrow, allegedly, they're going to announce the new hero, which I think is going to be Black Cat, and the dev vision will probably be next week. I think that Black Cat will be a Sombra type of duelist who infiltrates the backline by being invisible and inflicts her bad luck on heroes like the Sombra sacking. She'll also have some type of invisibility, speed boost, raise the enemy team's cooldown and something like that. And her ult will be like Sombra's ult, or something like that with those effects. While White Fox is going probably to be, that's my take, I don't think they're going to do a double DPS season, a melee healer. I think that she's going to be either a melee healer or a tank hybrid DPS, because she can transform into a Kumiho. She has damage reduction and have abilities like agility and speed boost, so she can also be a frontliner tank. I won't be surprised. And since she can probably transform into a Kumiho, she will probably summon a creature like Kiriko from Overwatch, which grants like effects like Gambit's ult, but maybe tweaked down. Let me know if you liked the video, and if you liked it, make sure to subscribe. Let me know, and have a good day. Until next time.